halls of a Four Seasons loft. In Austin, I stalled, paused, my eyes crawled to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Throw dice and woes of life. Love deprived, looking to revive. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise. Crystal chandeliers, motives reflected. Often mirrors appear clear, grinning from ear to ear. Craving and raving and grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near. Stay there, remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, we know our purpose. In paradise, we know what our worth is. In paradise, we manifest dreams. In paradise, truth is what you conceive. Are you my
Yes, it is. The truth is what you can see. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. I'm your host, Matt Clark, and hold on one second. I forgot to do something. Oh, there we go. Oh, my God, you can see me now. Anyway, like I said, welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. I'm your host, Matt Clark, and it is Monday, and we are at one of our favorite Your host, Matt Clark, and hold on one second. I forgot to do something. We're one of my favorite locations, Rococo, located on Western. Like I said, I mean, if you haven't been here, you're missing out. Rococo is so fantastic. Its food is always good. The service is always fantastic. Come in and see the guys, Bruce and the whole group. They are fantastic, Jason and the guys, as far as the food is concerned. It is wonderful. 4301 Northwestern, across from Sopango's, and the Chicken Shack to go. Cannot miss it. It's just, oh man, it's so good. If you've not had their Saturday and Sunday brunch, you need to try it one time. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. It is fantastic. It's one of the things that I enjoy doing when I come here. They're open Monday through Thursday from 11 to 10, and on Fridays and Saturdays from 12 to 11. Of course, on Sundays, they open to 10 as well. They close early. And that's a lot of times where Bruce is like, why don't you do the show here after Thunder games? I said, well, you guys close so early, and usually the Thunder games are a little bit later, so it's harder for me to get there. I know the guys are working their butts off, and the last thing I want to do is be insensitive by doing our show and be late, causing them to leave late. But if there's an early game, away game, we're going to come and we're going to do one of our shows here at Rococo, during this year, because we do have 41 41 away games. So we will get a chance to do some game. There got to be some game that we can do it in the afternoon. Hopefully it'll be like on a Saturday or a Sunday where we can do brunch. Like that. We'll have an 11 early game. We can come do brunch. That would be fantastic. I love their brunch. You should check it out. So speaking of this, we're going to start out today talking about something that's very disturbing. Karen Lacey, the young man who committed suicide from LSU, being accused of something he did and didn't do, and now we know that the people had all of his stuff. They had videos. His car wasn't touched. His car wasn't wrecked. He was way behind the accident. All these things where he was way behind the accident. He did not cause the death of this person. But yet the media just jumped all over it. The NFL, once again, kind of like they did with Mike Irvin. They didn't give him a chance. He was guilty automatically. And you're not guilty automatically. In this country, it's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. That is not what it is. As soon as something comes out, everybody wants to immediately jump all over this kid. And immediately jump over what athlete or whatever because so-called we're entitled or whatever. You don't judge a person until all the facts are in. That's the way it should be. But only certain people have that privilege. And this young man, as it comes out, the police told the person what to say to get this young man in trouble. Now, whether this was someone who wasn't an LSU, clearly this guy wasn't an LSU cop or LSU fan at all, because you not only caused the death of a young man by lying. But you also ruined his family. You ruined the possibility of him having a family later on down the road. You ruined everything by you lying, feeling entitled because of who? Because you're a policeman. And you did not like this young man for whatever reason. And I just don't think that this guy should get off the hook. It got shown on body cam. If all this stuff came out, why was the grand jury even wanting to talk to him? Now, remember, he committed suicide the day before. He's supposed to go talk to the grand jury. But the NFL had already convicted him, not let him go to the combine. Now, granted, it's kind of hard for the NFL or NBA or Major League Baseball or anybody, because if something like this comes out, it's hard for them to say, okay, we're going to overlook it until everything comes out. Which is what they should have done. Innocent until proven guilty. Not guilty automatically. And it's just sad that this young man had to lose his life over something that he had zero to do with. And it's proven now through video, through conversation. And my thing is this: if you're the district attorney, your job is to prosecute the guilty. So you're trying to tell me you're calling him into a grand jury. You didn't know that this young man's car was this far behind, 200 whatever yards, whatever, a football field, 2 football fields. You didn't know that? You didn't know that you didn't have body cam video of the cops saying it? You didn't have any of this stuff as a district attorney? How do you not have access to all the information before you file charges or before you bring up anything? You should have all the information in front of you before you accuse anybody of doing anything. But the cops arrested him and you just went with it. And I just don't understand how these people who can do this to a young man, and then nothing happens to you. Every single one of you who did that should be held accountable. The cop who did that to him, who asked somebody to lie and say this so he could get in trouble. The people who saw the body cam video and did nothing. He got his attorney late, but he should have saw this and got all this information. Why was this information given to him right up front? In that discovery issue, shouldn't the plaintiff's attorney or the defendant's attorney have access to all the information? Body cam video, interviews. He shouldn't have access to all of this stuff? But this young man committed suicide before he was going to a grand jury. How did he even get a chance to get to the grand jury? Why was he even called? The district attorney, whoever's in charge of the case, your ass need to be held accountable. To me, this young man lost his life, who's completely innocent now, we find out months later. Well, how come all this information wouldn't come out in the very beginning? How do you not know all this information? How do you as a district attorney not have access to all of this stuff? How is you as an attorney, a defensive attorney, not have access to all this information? And I'm going to ask a couple of my friends who are defense attorneys, how did this happen? How did this happen? How was this guy not done? You know, I've got a couple of friends who are district defense attorneys. I'm going to ask them. I have a friend who works for DA. I'm going to ask him, how the hell does this happen? How does as a defense attorney, not have all this information? How are you as a district attorney not have all this information? Now, police are concerned, yeah, I get that. You know how many times I've had a DWB driving while black? That happens all the time. I mean, that's a given. There are dirty cops out there who don't deserve to have a badge. That happens all the time. But what about the people who are supposed to be held him in check? What about those people? You have a young man who had a chance to be in the NFL, to fulfill his dreams from the time he was young, gone. Now, granted, probably there was something. To me, when you commit suicide, it's the most selfish act that you can do. Now, I do understand why some people do it. I do know, I get that. Because I've been there. I understand when you get that low, I get that. I know how hard that is, 100%. But have there been times I've been selfish? Hell yes. Not going to deny that one bit. But to me, the full extent of the law should be applied equally. The cop, your ass need to go to jail for a very long time. The district attorney who had all the information is still trying to call this young man in front of him. And I just don't get it. I'm like, how do you not have access to this information? How? How do you not know this young man was arrested illegally right off the bat? Right off the bat. Who cares that he's an LSU player? Who cares that maybe another LSU players who committed bad in acts? Who cares? We're talking about this particular person, this and what happens now. So, for me, as a former athlete, I don't understand how you got away with this. I just don't get it. Hey, Angel, how you doing? I just don't. These young black men, and especially it's in the South, our country has always been racist. It is what it is. Okay? It is what it is. It went down low on the back into the closet for a while. Now it's back out here in front. But sports is the one thing that brings us together. White, black, Asian, green, purple, fat, white, skinny, black, whatever. Sports is the one thing that brings us together. It just does. Rooting for teams brings us together. And for this young man to lose his life over something he had nothing to do with, it's just sad. And I'm sorry that I had to go off on my rant today about it, but it's just sad to me that that this had to happen. And then the people that were on the channels blowing him up, none of you have come on, y'all just, oh, he was found innocent. Okay, well, why don't you go off and give a summary about how the vitriol you had against him when this all went down? Why don't you have that same energy now that he's innocent? Why aren't y'all talking about going after the police? Why aren't you talking about going after the district attorney? Why aren't you trying to go after the people who lied? Let's go after these people with the same vitriol you had with him. Okay. And this is water, by the way, guys. This is not a cocktail. And that's one thing I do love about Rococo's is their water. I love the blue bottles. And I don't know if cold water is supposed to be good for you or not, but I do love cold water. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I do love cold water. I don't know why that is, but I do love cold water. And they put it in a cup for me today with the lid, because all the electrical equipment, electronics I have here. So I will say that. Now, on a more lovelier subject or on a higher subject, let's talk about our OKC Thunder last night. It was the first game, and it was Charlotte, and I was going to do the show last night. I've got to make up the field over at Bungalow 23, and to do my show over there, because I was going to do it last night, but it was on the Thunder app, and it was just hard to get to, and it was just a pain in the butt. But I finally got to watch it, even though I wasn't overly excited about it, to be honest with you. It's hard for me to get excited about the Charlotte Hornets. They're not very good, and it just was very hard for me to do it. But we did handle our business. We did win the game, which was a good thing. You always want to start out with a victory, especially, starting the year out. First, even though it was a preseason game, you want to win games. You want to know that your team is ready to play. And the only bright spot that I could say is this was the reserves. Okay? This wasn't any starters. It was the reserves. Now, tonight, Kaysen is going to play. And this was Wiggins' hometown, so Wiggins got to show off last night, which I'm sure the Thunder are very good at that. Chet got to show off in Minnesota. SGA got to show off. SGA and Dort got to show off when the game was in Canada. So the Thunder are very good at marketing their players. And tonight, of course, Kaysen's from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so they're going to have the game tonight in Fort Worth. And so all his family and friends, I'm sure he's going to have 50 tickets or so tonight for the game. But anyway, last night the Thunder took care of business, 135-114. And the game was pretty close. It wasn't a blowout until the Thunder did what they always do. Fourth quarter, they do what they do. And that's basically what happened. The fourth quarter, They do what they do. The defense at some point, our defense is going to hit you at some point. And it did last night, as it always does. I mean, when you look at us, 66 double-digit wins last year. 66. We won 84 games. 66 were double-digit wins. That's crazy. Now, people ask me, will the Thunder be able to match that again this year? I don't know. Possibly. Our defense was so crazy last year. The odds of that are very slim, but we are going to go over that. The Hornets were 15 for 51 for the three. Thunder 20 for 49. They shot 39.4% from the field. From the field, Thunder shot 53.2. We out rebounded them by 5, which is understandable. Pips points in the paint, 44 each. 16 turnovers, which is a lot, but of course, we only averaged 11 turnovers last year for the season. 17 for them, which is about what we normally do. We create about 17 turnovers a game, which is about what we did last year. Bench scoring outscored us 63 to 57. And the thing I love about what I saw last night, I didn't watch a whole lot of it, but I did watch some of it because I wanted to see kind of what our bench was going to look like. And like tonight, I'll be watching it simply because, you kind of got to get a feel. But because our bench is going to be a huge part. Now, of course, SGA's not going to play. J-Dub's not going to play. Dort's not going to play. Kaysen, of course, is going to play. But Chet's not going to play. iHeart's not going to play. So those guys, we may or may not see them on Thursday. And it's so funny, I was talking to my guy, Randy Wright, and we were laughing about how many games, preseason games, we've actually gone to. And we just kind of laughed, and I think over the years, this is the 18th year, and he and I were laughing. I think we've probably only been to maybe, I want to say 7, 8 games a year, preseason games. We just don't go to them. We really don't. We just don't go to them for whatever reason that is. We just don't. And here's the stats for the team last night, for the individual players last night. And can I say we played good, but the game was a lot closer. And then, of course, like I said, our defense took over. But when you look at our team and you look at our bench players, because the role players are going to make a difference. Because we know that these guys are going to play that we're going to see a lot of. You're going to see Isaiah Joe and Wiggins and Topic. For sure, Topic and Wiggins, you're going to see them. Because I think that's they're in your top 9, if you want to say that. 10, I don't know about top 10, but top 9, that's going to be a part of that when you look at this team and you look at what we are going to do. SGA, J-Dub, Chet. Those 3 are playing. And then, you got iHeart and you got Dort. And then you got Caruso and you got Kaysen. And then that's your 7. And then after that, Topic 8, Wiggins 9, Joe 10, K-Rich or J-Will, depending on what you want to do or what you need to do, big, small ball, whatever. So that's the guys you're going to have going back and forth. So Jay, he always looks good against competition like this because this is, to me, I like him, but this is the competition that he does well in. And you can look at his numbers, 7 for 14, 3 for 6. I mean, he's really good against G League competition. That's the best way to put it. Even though they had their starters in. And Ball, LaMelo, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day who's involved in the NBA. And we just don't get it with the ball. LaMelo. He can pass the ball. He's flashy. He can do all that. But other than that, we just don't see it. I've never saw it. I like Lonzo better. I also don't think Lonzo should have been a 3rd overall pick. That's just me. Still mad that they took him instead of, I think it was Jason Tatum that the Lakers took. because of his dad and listening to his nonsense. Great at promoting his kid, by the way. Jay Will last night, 17. 2 rebounds, though. 17 and 2, you're a big guy. I mean, we got to have you rebounding the basketball, big fella. He had 2 rebounds. Now, he played 22 minutes, so that's not a whole lot of minutes, okay? Not a whole lot of minutes. But 17 points, I liked the way he was shooting the basketball last night. Liked all that. Jang, like I said, 33 minutes, 77 to 14. He's great against teams like this. Isaiah Joe, 0 for 4 from 3. Once again, struggling from 3. I'm a huge Isaiah Joe fan. My problem with Isaiah Joe is really simple. They know what he's bringing to our team. And I think his, I don't know, usefulness is maybe not the right word that I'm looking for, but what he was bringing to us and what he gave us early, that is come and gone. And I think what he came in, and I love the pick when he got here from Philly. Loved that pickup. I was like, man, this is going to be great. Really, really like him. And he did well. And then, but for the last year and a half, teams know, and especially in the playoffs, when the playoffs are different from the season, playoffs defense matters. They're going to attack you. They're going to come after your weak links. And he is definitely a weak link on his defense. And if he's not knocking down offensive shots, I just, no. So you look at Isaiah Joe, 20 minutes, 2 for 7, 0 for 4. That is not going to help us at all. It's just not. The commander said, we went to all of them. We just didn't watch many of them since we sat on the bar stool. I don't know if we went to all of them. I need to ask Kat, because Kat was our bartender for a long time there at Paycom when it was Ford Center. Then it was Chesapeake, the Peak. So I don't know if we went to that many, Randy. I don't know if we went. Man, that's a lot. I don't think we went to 17. That'd have been 17. We haven't been to 17 preseason games. No way. I'll give you 8, 10, but I'm not giving you that. Now, granted, we did not watch the games at all. That's facts. And Wiggins last night played great. 10 for 14, 2 for 4, 23 points. Led us pretty much in scoring if you want to count Chris Youngblood doing what he did. But anyway, love that. Love seeing Wiggins do it. But to me, defensively, is what I want Aaron. And I think because he started scoring offensively, defensively, he gave up too much to me. And we need him more defensively. To me, I look at Aaron Wiggins and say, okay, defensively, I want him doing what he does defensively. And then I want him knocking down open threes. That's what I want from Aaron Wiggins. I don't want him trying to take people off the dribble because he doesn't really have the handles. It's kind of like I was having this argument about J-Dub, how people are saying J-Dub has more upside than SGA. You're out of your damn mind. You have no idea what you're talking about basketball-wise if you think that. There's just no way. He does not. And so when I look at that, I'm like, this is the same thing with Wiggins. I like the fact that he's scoring, but I only want you to knock down threes, and I want you to play great defense. That's what I want from him. Topic, I just don't think he can shoot the basketball. I don't think he can score. I just don't think he can shoot the basketball. And that bothers me to no end, knowing that he's not that good of a shooter. That's the one thing that I think that bothers me about him, is that he can't shoot the basketball. That wears me out. You've got to, he's a smaller Josh Giddey, to me, is what it's seeming like it to be now. Now, maybe he'll start getting better. Maybe he'll be able to shoot the basketball. I don't know. But currently, at this point, no. Barnhizer, he played pretty good last night. I could say he's still okay to me. Zach Austin, he did pretty decent. I'm really, really, really a big fan of Chris Youngblood. Brandon Carlson is doing what Brandon Carlson does. We get in foul trouble, we need threes, he's going to be perfect for that. So I don't have any problem with him. But when I look at our bench and I look at what we have to offer, I worry a little bit about that, because I just don't know who we really are, if that makes sense to you. I wonder about what we're really going to be able to do to teams. I just don't know if we're going to really be able to do things to people. That really worries me. It bothers me about that. I mean, I just don't know what we're going to be able to do when it comes to teams, because our bench is going to make all the difference as far as what the Thunder are going to be able to accomplish this year, because of who we are, what I'm trying to spell, I misspelled. I'm trying to spell Rococo correctly. I'm terrible at that. I messed up, guys. I didn't get all my stuff right today, so I kind of got to go back in here and change it, which I am currently. I know it may not change on my Facebook, but I need to change it here so that it will get the right location and the right thing, what we're doing. Let's see, 20. But we will be doing the show tonight because it's the Mavs game. So we will be doing a show tonight for as far as the Mavs are concerned, just to kind of see what we do now. Thursday, who do we play Thursday? We have a home game. Was it the Pacers? Is that who we played Thursday night? Let me see. Pull up my trusty Thunder app right now, and we play the. I can't get any reception for right now. I don't know why that is, but let's see. Okay, here we go. We played the Charlotte Hornets again at home Thursday night. That can't be right. Let's see. Yeah, we play the Charlotte Hornets. Then we play our next home game against the Nuggets will be on a Friday night. That's the 17th. So we played the Charlotte Hornets. We played Mavericks tonight. We played Charlotte Hornets Thursday. Played the Pacers away in Indianapolis on Saturday. Then we play the Bucks away again, and then home before we open up the home season. So that's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with that. To see what's going to happen with that. So, but anyway, tonight's game, the Thunder game tonight, it's going to be really good. Let me see if I can pull it up here. Okay, we play the Mavs tonight, 7:30 be on FanDuel, which I hate, as you know, I hate listening to our two announcers. I hate them, but we play the Mavs tonight. The Mavs are minus 4-point favorites, which is interesting that they're 4-point favorites at home. 225 is the over-under. The Mavs and us always play each other, but I think it's going to be Kayson's homecoming. The Mavs, I don't know who, depends on who they play. If they're going to play everybody, the game is going to be, I could see the minus 4 because we're not going to play our starters. If they play their starters and their bigs, I can see that. Now, our bench players against their bench players, I'm not necessarily going to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Thunder and the points, the minus 4 points tonight. That's what I think I'm going to do. 225.5 is the over, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take our team and take the Thunder and see what's going to happen there. Let me see. People are sending me texts about, I'm like, guys, go to YouTube, search the Unpopular Hour with Matt Clark. And then you can send me messages there instead of sending me 25 texts. People are sending me all these messages like, hey guys, why don't you try going and sending it live on YouTube That way you can talk to me there and send my messages there. I don't know why my friends have to do that to me. It's like, guys, what are y'all doing? Y'all can talk to me right then and there. Okay, come on to YouTube. And remember tonight, if you want to talk, go to After the Storm OKC Thunder, and that's the best way to reach me and to be able to send messages. Because when you do them on Facebook, I don't see them at all. People are texting me because that's when they know they can text me and they're blowing up my phone. But I'm not going to say who you are, similar than the commander. But I'm not going to say who you are. Come to YouTube, do it on the YouTube, and that way everybody can see it and see your questions versus the other. So, that being said, let's go ahead and take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, SRB. If you have needs for engineering, surveying, or planning, here are guys up over there. They love to take care of you. Also, if you have a water treatment plant in your city or county, they're fantastic civil living engineers will make sure everything is great. Oak Grove Trucking, if you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, hit our guys up over at Oak Grove. They love to take care of you. And of course, YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, a member of the FDIC, proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the OKC area. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com, or go into one of their 5 locations. Of course, the main bank at 401 Elm, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma, and Route 66. And by the way, we did have 66 double-digit wins this year. Nice pickup by the way, Commander, on that one. YB Eastwood is off the Parkway and 66 or 39th Expressway. YB Mustang 218 North Mustang Road. YB Parkway, which is just south. That's YB East. YB Parkway, which is south of I-40 and Garth Brooks. It's on Garth Brooks, just south of I-40. And I think it's the Fairmont Hotel. I think that's what it's called. I can't think of the name. But anyway, it's right in front of the hotel, right in front of the hospital. Cannot miss it, right across from Louis. Now, that I do know. And then, of course, YB People's located in Bethany on 23rd between Rockwell and MacArthur. And then, of course, guys, the House of Creed, handcrafted since 1760. If you haven't smelled this stuff before, you truly, truly need to smell this stuff. It is fantastic. Go in there and get some for your girlfriend, or not your girlfriend. If you're a girl, go in and get some of the perfume and get some for your guy. Smells great. I promise you, you'll love it. As they always say, Matt, remember, pick the best for your best. And I do. I really do. Now, we have a big, huge game in the NFL tonight on Monday night. I will say this. Yesterday there were some fantastic games, some big upsets. And can I say Baker Mayfield is playing fantastic. He really, really is. And, I wasn't a Baker fan for the longest time, but he has really showed up, and he is really doing the things that he needs to do. And I must say that I'm really impressed with Baker. I really am. But tonight, the Chiefs at the Jaguars. The Jaguars are plus 1.5. The over-under is 45.5. 7:15. Kansas City, of course, trying to go 3-2 now after starting 0-2, winning 3 games in a row. To see if they can beat the Ravens, the Giants, the Ravens, and now they have the Jaguars. If they can do that, now once again, I heard that they may be without, oh my God, what's his name? Number 1 from the played at Texas, Xavier Worthy. They may be without him, which is going to hurt them, and getting him back made all the difference in their offense. And when they get everybody back, they're going to be extremely healthy and be able to see it's going to be interesting. But I do think if the Chiefs don't turn the ball over, they should handle their business against the Jaguars, who now Patrick Mahomes can identify with Trevor Lawrence. The most dropped passes in the NFL, Mitchell Mahomes went through that, where people could not catch the football. Had the most drops, but yet they still went to the Super Bowl. He's unbelievable. Now, whether they'll do that or not, I don't know. I don't think so. But we'll see how that works out for the Chiefs tonight. 7:15 on ABC or ESPN. Of course, ABC is who will be watching that. Now, in scores yesterday, there was a bunch of good games yesterday. There really, really was. I'm going to blow this up a little bit. It's a little too small. There was some really good football yesterday, and I really enjoyed what I saw yesterday. So it said, Andrew said, it's a game time decision too. I don't really care about LeBron. I mean, he's not the GOAT at all. He's not even in my top five. But anyway, speaking of the NFL yesterday, the Vikings and the Browns, Dylan Gabriel did okay. Once again, the Browns lost again to the Vikings 21-17. And the Browns are just, remember I said, the Jets, the Mets, the Clippers, and the Browns. Those are the teams that are just dysfunctional organizations. They're just dysfunctional organizations. They really, truly, truly are. I just don't get it. They can't get anything right. Quarterback right. I don't know if they've had a quarterback since Brian Sipe. Tells you how long ago that was. Anyway, Bernie Kosar. Cowboys, Jets. Can I say that Dak has been fantastic doing what he's done this year, playing well without CD. I was listening to someone today and they were talking about Dak. How they said that when he lost Dez Bryant, he wasn't going to be any good. When he lost Tyron Smith, by the way, Tyron Smith is one of the largest individuals I've ever seen in person. Rest in peace to my guy, was his eye doctor. And he was just a large individual. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. But just an absolutely huge human. But, lost him, he did. Lost Zach Martin, still played well. Lost whoever he lost, he just kept winning. He lost CeeDee Lamb, they're still winning. And as long as you can keep Dak upright, he's great during the season. But my thing is, in the playoffs, he can't beat 500 teams. He can beat the teams he's supposed to beat. But when it comes to teams that that are 500 or better, something happens, they can't get it done for whatever reason. Giants and the Saints. The Saints. Wow. The Giants, talking about coming back to earth, and he just played terrible. How do you go 5 straight possessions, which had never happened in the NFL before, with the turnover? Giants, 5 possessions in a row, they had a turnover. I've never even heard of that. 5 possessions in a row with a turnover. Now, of course, that's never happened in the NFL before. That is just a crazy stat to me, that you can turn it over 5 consecutive times in a row. You're not supposed to win, especially beating the Saints, not happening. Raiders and Colts. The Colts are looking for real. They're looking like a legitimate team this year. And Jonathan Taylor's just a monster. And it's nice to have a great running back that you can hand the ball off to. It makes all the difference in the world to me when you can see that and see what he does. Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, Angel. Dallas defense does suck, and the Giants, how they won, they played the Chiefs tough. But, I mean, the Giants are just the Giants. But the Raiders and the Colts are for real. That's all I can tell you. Colts are for real. And they're playing really, really good. And Danny Dimes is playing good. So, hey, we'll see if that's going to continue. But if you got a running back you can hand the ball off to me, that makes all the difference in the world right there. Dolphins and Panthers, the poor Dolphins. Mike McDaniel, some people are offensive coordinators and some people are coaches. He seems like anybody with the name McDaniel is an offensive coordinator, not a coach. Because McDaniel, the offensive coordinator for the Patriots, had his job changed to coaching, not a coach. He's not. And this McDaniel, he's offensive coordinator. That's what it looks like to me. Panthers took care of business 27-24 over the Dolphins. Horrid game. Horrid game. Broncos and Eagles. Once again, Eagles. You tried to throw the ball with Jalen Hurts. You can't beat people. You have to run the football and be run-oriented. You cannot throw the ball and depend on Jalen Hurts. You can't. Every now and then, yes. But he's overthrowing A.J. Brown, trying to get him the ball. And part of it is A.J. Brown, part of it is him. Probably, a couple of times A.J. quit running and then tried to run because he didn't think he was going to get the ball. That had a lot to do with it. But that being said, the Broncos did what they needed to do. Bo Nix is playing good. I'm still okay with him. I like him. He may turn into be a really, really, really good quarterback, but he spent, 6 years in college? So he had a lot of reps, and to me, that's really, really helped him become a better player. It just has. So we'll see if he can continue to do that. But if the Chiefs wins tonight, the Broncos and the Chiefs and the Chargers are all tied. Now, the Chargers have the break because they beat the Chiefs. They beat them, so they're 2-0 in their conference, inside the conference. So, to me, inside the conference, you have the advantage now. Record-wise, you're all the same. But that's irrelevant inside the conference because that's what matters. And the Chargers do have the advantage there, even though they're falling apart outside the deal. Texans and the Ravens. Are the Ravens 34 points better? Texas 34 points better than the Ravens. Right now they are. The Ravens are, somebody's talking about fire Harbaugh. How the hell are you going to fire a coach when you're down, 6 defensive starters? You're down, you're one of your top 3-4 quarterbacks in the league. He's out. Offensive lineman. I mean, who are you going to beat? Who are you going to beat? NFL is tough. Titans and Cardinals, looking at this game, Titans and Cardinals, what a game it has been. Looking at the Titans and the Cardinals. The Cardinals, once again, somebody does what? Drops the ball before they cross the end zone trying to be cool. First of all, aren't you taught to run through the play? Don't just casually walk up, drop the ball before you enter the end zone. Run all the way through, finish it out, trying to be cool. Jets lost last week. Why? Same reason. Colts, lost last week. Same reason. Cardinals lose this time. Same reason. You cost your team a ball game because you're trying to be cool. The NFL stands for not for long because of idiotic plays like that. The Colts wide receiver that did that barely got the ball this week in their win, and they won 40-6. He barely got the ball. Instead of him getting the ball a bunch because he won the game for him, he gets the ball less because he lost the game for him. Then the Cardinals lose on the same thing. And the coach just lit into him as he should have. Dude, what are you doing? You're a backup running back who gets a chance to play, and this is what you do? Trying to be cool? The generation of cool, social media, TikTok. That's what this is. And it costs you W's again. And it happened to me. Once it happens, how do you not as a player go, make sure I run all the way through? Trying to be cool. First of all, the guy's coming behind you. There's a big-ass screen right there. You're not looking up to see the guy about to chase you. And you're just going to flip the ball before. Don't you know when you cross the goal line? Why are you trying to flip the ball and be cool? Get halfway in the end zone, then flip the ball. You're trying to cross the goal line and then flip it and look cool. Instead, you flicked it before. Not knowing where the goal line is. You don't know where the goal line is? Man, one thing, so funny is the other guy for the Colts still doesn't have a touchdown because he lost it. You don't have a touchdown in the NFL because you lost it. It may never have one. It's kind of hard when you look at it. The Bucs and the Seahawks, what the hell of a game that was between Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield. And I've been on record saying how big of a fan I am now of Baker. I was not a fan of Baker Mayfield. I am now and have been for a minute. Big fan of Baker. Wasn't before. I am now. Like the way he's changed his attitude. He's not a cocky little short little turd dude. I like what he is now. He still sticks his chest out because he's small. And he's trying to be all bad, big, and stick his chest out like he did something. Dude, keep your head, be what you should be, and you're going to be fine. And I can still be a fan of yours. But what a hell of a game it was between two guys who people thought were dead in the water. Lions and Bengals. The Bengals. Jamar did what Jamar did, as he always does. He's a beast. But they're done. They're done. Lions coming back. Everybody talks about they lost their offensive and defensive coordinator, how hard it was. Looks like they're okay. They kept their identity. We're going to be physical up front. You have two great running backs. You have arguably one of the best offensive line or the best offensive line in football. You got a quarterback. If he stands straight and you don't give him pressure, he can throw the hell out of the football. He's got good wide receivers to throw the ball to between Williams and Amon St. Brown. So their defense is really solid. They're a team. They're a team. Commanders and Chargers. The Chargers are just falling apart. 2-0 start. And let's face it, Travis Kelce catches the ball against the Eagles, he's fine. If they catch the ball and do what they're supposed to do against the Chargers, they find if they can stop Herbert on 3rd down at 14, let him run. Nobody left him unaccounted for, which is not usually what the Chiefs do on defense. That's not a Spags thing, as we talked about when that happened. But the Commanders get Jaden Daniels back. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with while he's still on a rookie contract. They got to pay him in a couple years. So we'll see how that works. Patriots and the Bills. Everybody has Bills high. I like the Bills, but to me, they've just been susceptible. They've gotten lucky. That's how I look at them. They've gotten lucky in their wins. And now we'll see what's going to happen with them, and I just don't see it. I really don't. Yes, I agree with you right there, Angel. And I'm a huge Josh Allen fan. But to say they're just going to run wild with it, I just don't see that. I really don't. I like what I see from them. I like what they're doing. But like I said, tonight, you have Monday Night Football. It's going to be good. We will be doing our show, Thunder game tonight and Monday Night Football, Chiefs. So, I'll be watching back and forth, watching both to see what's going to happen on that. But I will be taking notes and getting ready for the game tonight to do the show after the storm for the game tonight. So, that being said, I want to thank Bruce and all the guys here at Rococo for helping us here today. Appreciate it. The food is always good if you haven't had it. Still the best crab cakes in Oklahoma by far, without question there. In fact, I should have had me a crab cake, but I didn't get one. That being said, hey, everybody have a fantastic day. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy your afternoon. Enjoy the